Hey again, let me do implement in this video a thread. So to get started with a thread, I will just get a new file, and this file, Kotlin, I will name it my thread. I like to name the class my thread, I don't know, but this is how I like. So this I have main function. So think about the thread now. If I define my class, let me name it thread. This is simple class, my class, and I want this class to inherit specific class that already built in Java, which is named thread. So the semicolon, then a thread. So a thread, this class that already built in Java. I just want to inherit that class, and that is. But if you see, both of them have constructor, so it's better to do it in this way or in the constructor time you send the value. So this is the basic one. So now thread, if you see here, because I defined the thread, I just already inherit this class. If you go to definition of this class in Java, if you see this originally written in Java, if I click Ctrl F, I said run already the function for this class. So any code you wanted to work in the thread, you have to write it in the function name it run. Because this run already implemented, so we just need to override this method. So I have to say overwrite the function that name it run. Okay, that means, hey, there is a function, name it run. I want you to override this function for me, and that is. So any code you will write it here will work synchronized on the process, because this is the place for thread. So basically your class that is normal, you define it now. Now he is a thread class because he inherit the information from the thread. Now anything you write it here will run synchronous on the process. So I see here there is error. I say redeclaration. Why redeclaration? Because he maybe have something named thread. So let me name it user thread, because maybe he have this name. I just defined in different places maybe. So yes, this is basically, maybe this is my class that I already defined in Java. So now, if I just write it, that's totally fine. As I told you, maybe I already defined it. So any code I write it here, he will consider as a thread. So think about what the code I want to run it. Let me suppose I want to do counter. Very basic example. Count, and this counter, the initial value for it 0. And this counter will get count one by one. So it should have a while loop, and the while loop saying while the count, in this way, while the count less than, for example, 10, print the value of the count for me. For C, in this way I said print a line and print for me the count value, saying in this way count, and increase the count, so count plus plus, and he will continue. But if you see, this code will run too fast, you cannot see the output in the screen like as a counter, because this is a thread and run too fast. So I need, when every time he count, I just give sleep for my thread. So I just say thread dot sleep. I give it 1000 millisecond. That means 1 second. So thread dot sleep will not work alone. It have to be inside the try catch. So you have to add it inside the try catch. Why? This is how the structure of thread sleep work. Ex should be exception, and print, not a priority, print ex dot message. Okay, very basic example. So this is very basic example. When anyone create an instance from my thread, he will get count from 1 to 10. So how to create an instance from the thread? Really easy. Let me suppose variable thread 1, so t1 equal a new instance from the thread class, and that is, then I say t1 dot start. Why I say the start? Why I didn't say the run? Because if I say run, he will call run method and he will not consider it as a thread. He call it as a method. But if I say start already implemented inside this class. He will be responsible to make my class, this class, work as a thread. So when you want your class work as a thread, you have to call t.start. Now if you just run it, just click run, you will see counter saying 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever, and he will continue. So let me see what is he is doing, then we will continue on our example. It will take some time. I don't know why. I know why, but I always say I don't know why. So yes, waiting for seconds to see how the thread run. I wanted to teach you thread here because you will see counter 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now if I suppose I have something here, print line thread is run. So you think now you have this code. He go to this code, then he have to wait until all the count are done, then he go this code to this line. But this is not what you will see. What you will see, he will run this code, and this code is sometime. Why? Because we say the thread, that multiprocessing, that multi-thing work in same time. So whenever you call this code, he will not stop the application in that line. See, he just print for you threads running, and he doing counting. Why? Because when he come here, he run this code inside the thread alone, and he continue executing the code. So think about, you need to create another instance that's for the thread. You say t2 and t2 dot start. But how you recognize the first thread from the second thread? It's better to recognize them by the name. So let me suppose I have a name for the thread. I say it is thread name, and I suppose this one as a string. Okay, and let me suppose when someone want to print the counter, I show you which counter from where this counter coming. So just give it $, the thread name, that is. So that's mean, hey, I want you to show me the name of the thread. He wasn't able to show me here. I don't know why, but basically because this one is not, he will not able to access to it. Why? Because this one is part from the constructor. So it's better to define it here. We define here variable thread, okay, thread name should be string, and you give it value now equal null, because I don't have any value for it. Okay, for sure he give you this error because he need this to colon after it. Then you could initialize it in the init. You could do init, you could do constructor. Let me follow the constructor case, because I want to take this part, move it to the constructor, remove this one, say this one super, and that is, and just make my code like more professional. Like I have a class, then I say, hey, this dot thread name equal the thread name. And now when I want to access to this thread name from here, it's really easy to give it $, then thread name. It's not something new, I didn't do anything, just I remove it, the initialization from here, I create constructor for initialize my thread, and also calling the super thread. I have to call the super thread because constructor have to be running. Then I take whatever he sent it to me, and I add it inside my thread, and I show it here to you. I could show you here just example, print line whatever name of the thread is started, so to show you the message of he say this thread is started. Now let me just send them here. Let me name it thread 1, and for sure this one should be thread 2. So 2 threads were running at some time. What about 3 threads? Yes, you could. Thread 2, thread 3, t3 dot start. Rerun the code. Now what you will have 3 threads running in some time. 3 of them are executing in some time, which is really amazing, and that's what you will see in Android. We are doing multi-threading, all these threads working in some time. You see them, he give you now error. He said, hey, say thread nullable exception. He got into this point because here, he tried to call this one, and this one is null as initial value. So it's and here until now he didn't did any value, and he didn't initialize it, so he enrolled into a problem. So it's better to, I don't think you need to do anything here. My thread main, wait, I just get a problem in initialization. If if I suppose this one return back, return this one here, and return this one here, and I said this dot calling, that's mean I have a constructor. This constructor will call this one, and this one he defined the variable for me so I could use it. Hopefully this time will work, because I just before a few seconds I changed the constructor way of definition, and because the thread is running, and when the thread is running that variable is not defining yet, and he will have a problem. Hopefully this case is solved, because here I have a constructor. Hey, again same error. He said this variable caught a non-nullable pointer exception. So what if I just give it this value? I didn't give it a null. Will this one work? Because the for first time when the thread is running, he doesn't have time to read the data. Let me see. Oops. Yes, he starts running. See thread name, counter, whatever, 2 3. He just showed thread name, because this one you cannot add it inside it, you have to add it outside, because he wasn't able to identify it with the word of this, so you have to take it out. This is first point. Same thing, you have to take this one out because he wasn't able to identify it inside the string. This is 2 error, we have to fix them. Now the third error, you see the sleep before the counter, so you may not be able to see the thread for first time. Let me see what's going on. Hopefully this time you'll be able to run it. So this .thread name, you cannot add it inside the string, because this type of string is still not able to identify the word this. So just take it out, then hopefully this time he will work. So thread 1 started, 2 this started, 3 is started. They both thread 1 count 0, thread 2 count 0, thread 3 count 0. Then see all of them working in some time. If you just take this sample, thread 1, 2, 3, both of them are counting 7. Then when he done. If you would see in same time, he wrote this code for us, which is the code for this line. Thread is run. So if you see, thread is run. So in some time he started 3 threads, and sometime he executed this line. That's mean when he began in this line, he went and he executed that code alone in the process, executed alone this code with the process, he executed this one with the process. So 3 of them working in some time, then he continue. So wait, what if I don't want him to pass this point unless this thread will done? So now if you see, he start a thread, and sometime this one will run. What if I want them to wait? Just I say for example, I want him to say join. When I say word join, that's mean hey, stop on this line. He start with first thread, second thread, he started thread, but he stop on this line. He will not move here unless this thread done. So you'll use it a lot sometime when you want to do HTTP calls and you are waiting something result from HTTP. So just run it again. Hopefully now you will be able to see some result, and you will not see the thread. See, now thread is run, you don't see it in the beginning. You don't see anything thread that's run. You have to see it in the end when he done from everything. From see, when he done from everything, he call thread is run. Why? Because the word join make the code execute stop in this line, and he will continue stopping in this line, waiting this is thread 3 done. When thread 3 done, he just move to the next. So for that reason you see it in the end. So you will use join a lot with your code when you work with the thread. So from now we don't have thread.stop. You could use stop it from whatever you want, but if you're using logic, but we have only thread.start. So here we done. Thank you for watching, and see you next.